wholeness, balance, and love. And welcome back to the Power of Breath, Part 3, Deepening the Breath. Our focus for this video is to learn how we can use the conscious control of our breath to deepen the effects of relaxation and promote physical, mental, and emotional well-being. To begin, I want us to take a moment to reflect on how well do I understand the impact that my breath has within my physical body. Some things we discussed earlier is our breathing is one tool that we can do automatically, or it also happens unconsciously. And those two spaces are directly connected to our autonomic nervous system. Our parasympathetic nervous system is our rest and digest, and our sympathetic nervous system, which is more of our fight or flight state. But when we begin to consciously notice the breathing patterns that we bring to the space, and then we begin to shift those, we could promote any feeling, emotion that we are aware of within the present moment. We spoke on earlier that the act of deliberately controlling our breath promotes states of physical balance, eliminating the tension in the body, bringing more clarity and space within the mind, and a great expansion within the heart. And when we begin to utilize this function at an even deeper level, we realize that it gives us a direct access to the highest version of ourselves. Now, what do I mean by that? When I show up frustrated, when I show up a little anxious, I show up a little cranky, how does that affect the people around me? But when I come to the space with a clear mind, I'm fully connected, I notice what's happening inside my body, and I'm able to observe my thoughts without judgment. This allows for me to respond in situations opposed to reacting. This is important because when we're dealing with a challenging or difficult situation in our life, this activates our sympathetic nervous system. Our heart rate increases, our eyes begin to dilate, our digestion begins to shut down, and we're not able to access the higher part of our mind. Now, naturally, when that threat disappears, we're supposed to naturally oscillate back into our parasympathetic state, allowing us to allow that blood flow to go back into the body, allowing the heart rate to slow down, and giving us access so that we can respond in situations opposed to be reacting. But what is happening in this modern day and age is most folks are still ruminating on those thoughts or those experiences that are keeping me active within that fight or flight state. But all this can be neutralized. We spoke about how when we regulate our breath to about 6 to 10 per minute, that naturally switches off from the stress state into a deeper relaxation state. So this is going to be the key focus, is realizing this technique specifically enhances our ability not only to experience that peace and calm in the moment, but for that peace and calm to stay with us throughout our day. When we begin to breathe deeply and fully, we activate two large nerves within our parasympathetic nervous system. The vagus nerves that exit from the brainstem and continue throughout the body, sending information to all internal organs. About 20% of these pathways send messages from the brain to the body to regulate our organs. And the other 80% of these pathways bring information from our body up to the brain. Studies have shown that when we change the pattern of our breathing, we change the messages being communicated through these nerves. Now, my question to you, through the observation of our breath as we did in part 1, what are the messages that you're sending from your body to your brain? And through the observation of mindfulness, what are the messages that your thought patterns are sending back into your body? And for some of us, we may not be in the best space. For others, we may be well more advanced. But wherever we are on this journey, we could begin to utilize these tools to bring us to a space that allows for us to show up as the best version of ourselves. How often, how long, how fast or short greatly impacts our ability to see how well our mind is going to function. When I begin to expand my lungs, you begin to notice that my mind expands as well. When I begin to shorten my breath and hold on to it, you notice it's like someone is squeezing that out of my mind also. So today's practice, we focused previously on consciously controlling it with no intention of where that breath is going to be placed. But for this guided practice in the next video, we're gonna really deliberately bring that breath into our abdominal area and minimize the amount of air that is being pressed within to our lungs or the upper area of our thoracic cavity, our chest. Because the ultimate goal is to really see, can I utilize my breath as a therapeutic tool? Can I create a space where I respond opposed to react? Can I create a body that is free of tension? And can I have a heart that is open to feel and no longer push away those feelings or sensations that allow myself to remain stuck in these spaces of imbalance? To conclude, as I have stated in every previous video of our breath, we must understand that the regulation of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being are key for us to show up as the best version of ourselves. Through the use of the conscious control of our breath, we can begin to promote states of balance, calm, peace, and stillness that bring us back into the present moment so that we can be an example to anyone that comes around us, that are the youth, that are our family, our children, and community. So when we move on to our next practice, this tool of deliberately breathing into our abdominal area, we're gonna begin to notice directly how this transforms me at any moment and gives me a ticket right back to the here and now. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you sharing this energy with me, and I wish you all have a beautiful day.